Hi everyone, Fluffy Waffles here. I wanted to bring you a Cavalry Heroes pairing tier list. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I have two tier lists. I'll go through this one first, but the second one is what I will be using as my five heroes, five Cavalry for next season. Uh, but yeah, so let's go with the overall Cavalry tier pairings. I'm doing this a little bit differently. I'm not doing them by individual heroes because I really think the pairings make a big difference. So, for example, if you unpair, so let's say Emery's and Bakshi might be, A or B, but together they are pretty strong. So for my S plus, I have Urag and Tobin. They are very strong. Urag does a lot of AoE damage. Tobin has some survivability, so it makes this pairing very strong. Emery's and Bakshi are also very strong still as a Gen 1 cab pairing. They are strong because of the Spring Blades artifact that gives you a 30% increased attack when it's maxed out when you get Passion. And add on top of that the Exemplar, so still a very strong march. They keep up with my Urag Tobin and sometimes even beat them depending on who gets targeted first in fights. And then another really great pairing is Forandel and Mu. So this is a really great pairing. Mu is really strong with pretty much any lineup, whether it's tanks, mages, archers, or cavalry. But this is also a very strong pairing. Forandel and Mu. A lot of people that I've talked to that are cavalry mains really do like this combination, and I've tested this in previous seasons, and I can agree that this is a pretty strong pairing. For the S tier, I did put Nea and Lei as S tier only because right now people don't have maxed out pets yet. They're still working on it, and the pet was released last season, but they're still a really strong pairing. Uh, Obviously, with the exemplars that have been released for Urag and Emrys, right? These marches are doing better than LA Nea, but once Lunaris artifact is released as exemplar and people are start maxing out their pets, this will easily jump up to S plus tier. This march is also very strong and also pretty tanky as well with Lay's survivability. The next pairing I have is Marduk and Magro in the A tier. And this is more of a support march. This is more for debuffs. So Marduk has a 1 in 3 chance to do a 50% defense break. And then with Magro, he has the ability to spread debuffs with one of his innate skills. So if you are able to land the 50% defense break plus Margot's debuff spread to 3 targets, this will help your other marches do more damage, especially with the artifacts and then the AoE from Urag and Mu, and even Lei does 2 target AoE, and then Magral also does AoE. So this really helps out your entire cab pairing. And then for the 5th march, in the B tier, I have Theo and Fulgrim. So Theo and Fulgrim works as a cavalry march because Fulgrim has a lot of skill damage. You would probably need Fulgrim Awakened to be able to do that. But this is more of a support tanky march. So Theo, Fulgrim, if you wanted to use a blink, you probably wouldn't want this to be more tanky to blink and block because they take the most of the normal attack damage when they're blocking like five marches. Another good option is to use the fast infantry, which is the Skogul Nika. This is also a great support too to help out your cows. Whenever you're engaging, it really slows one target, and you can hit them pretty quickly. Also, when you're trying to engage, play hit and run, and disengage, this Skogul Nika can help you block for your other cavalry to get away. And since they're infantry, they survive pretty long. So that's a good option as well for your 5th pairing. And then in the Ds, all these heroes can technically be used for cavalry because you do see infantry and archers as cavalry and overall heroes as cavalry as well in the the higher tiers. But for These heroes, they have fallen off in the recent seasons with new heroes. Nico and Kinara used to be used more often as cavalry when we had less hero options. But now that we have more hero options, it's more in the D tier. Magze, I mean, they do a lot of normal attack damage. They can do good damage as cavalry. However, as cavalry, you want more of the unyielding rush, rage skill damage, the burst damage. This is not really any burst damage. This is more sustainability. So if you're in like a fight that's sustainable, then these could work. But I still wouldn't recommend it for cavalry. And then obviously these all could be used as well because they do have less skill damage or whatnot. But there are better options. And Alistar was used a lot more previous seasons. I think he's still usable, but obviously with Marduk and the other pairings, you have better options. And then if you want to use Flying Eagles, these are flying units that you could use to pair with cavalry. They might not do so great, but they give you the mobility to fly over terrain and whatnot. So yeah, this is my cavalry tier pairings, not considering stamina, because you'll see in the next tier list that I take Mu out of my lineup just because since she's such a good overall hero, it's hard to use her in different lineups and then be get into an issue where you're running out of stamina on her. So I mainly use her on my range lineup, and I kind of switch things up. But you'll see the next screenshot. But yeah, so I just kind of gave a ranking of what I would do if I didn't really care for stamina and I didn't need to use range units. So I would do number 1 Uruk Tobin, number 2 Imri's Bakshi, number 3 Forendel Mu, number 4 Nea and Lei Shen. Li Shen. Number 5, I would either do Marnock and Magro if you want to do 5 cavalry, or if you want to do 4 cavalry and 1 fast inf, you can always do Skolgo and Nika. So that's my pairing there. And I forgot to add Tara here, but Tara could actually be used instead of Nika if you wanted a little bit more support and less speed. So Skolgo and Nika could be a good pairing as well for that fast infantry. Now going to what I will be using for my cavalry setup for next season. For Season of Strife, War of the Last Snows, this is what I will be using. So in my S plus, I have Urag and Tobin and Emrys and Bakshi. The reason these two are S pluses is because I have both exemplar artifacts for them, so they're really hitting him very hard. I also have a maxed out gold rank for my Emrys Bakshi, so that it also helps out there. I have a mediocre pet for the Urag Tobin, but I'm working on other pets right now. In my S tier pairings, I have my Forendel Fulgrim. Now, if I was using Forendel Mu, I'd put them up in S plus tier. But since I'm substituting Fulgrim for Mu, I would put this in the S tier. And because I also have a maxed out Berserk Phaedric, this also helps it stay in the S tier. So this this is my S for this pairing. And then the other S pairing is my Nea and Li Shen. So this one is also a very good, strong S March pairing. I'm currently working on my Orc Warhound, and once I'm able to maybe get the Warhound 4 out of 8 skills 3-star, then it probably jump up already to the S plus. I wouldn't I wouldn't need a fully maxed out pet to get to S plus, but I think once you have 3-star pet talent and some of the crit skills and fatal bite 3-star, then it really does push it up to S plus. And then for my A, I have Marduk and Magro. This is going to be my debuff march, my support march, to help get the minus 50% debuff and support my other marches. Magro also does a lot of AoE damage. This is not diffuse, so it's a lot of damage in a three target scenario. And the reason I put my Skogul Nika here is just sometimes there may be scenarios where I will not be running 5 cavalry, and I might switch to 4 cavalry and 1 inf. So I have I have 2 presets set for 5 calves or 4 and 1 inf. So I just put them there as a B. And you can kind of see the descriptions here for my pairings. Everything I've already said already. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th is, you know, either the 5th Cavalry support or the fast infantry support. So yeah, that is my tier list for the Cavalry pairings, and then also what I will be using for next season, for Season of Strife. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please give a like and subscribe. Thank you.